I'm a white trash man. I'm from the Midwest. I'm a white trash man, and I like Milwaukee's best. I'm a white trash man. I love NASCAR. Go trash folk who like your smoke. Gonna step outside, gonna get real high. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash. Been on over, you can kiss my white trash. Whoa, yeah, boy. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash. Been on over, you can kiss my white trash. Ain't got no class, ain't got no cash.
Oh, yeah. What's good, big homie?
There you are. You're like the invisible man down there for a while.
I had I accidentally had the overlay up and I had to pull that down. So, because
Where's chill?
that's why it's the overlay. It overlays. So, like what? So, if I hit that, boom, no one can see us, right?
Yeah. But it welcomes. It welcomes them.
It does. And they need it to be welcome because everybody deserves to be welcome. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Ooh, I'm looking bloated today, and that's okay. It's to be expected. What are you going to do?
Hey, my plan on eating a lot of barbecue and getting more bloated and eating a lot of sodium when I get a little further south and east.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're doing it. So,
Yes, we are.
just found out today. Shout out to the wifey. She's struggling right now. She has COVID officially. So,
I completely feel your pain. 100%, yo.
she only gets it like 5 times a year. So, I
know.
like first few times I was legit worried, and now I know she's gonna be fine. It's just a little, recoup time. So. We're
Just as long as she stays up on her physicals and her health, make sure on that, with
Agreed.
making that they don't have a sneaky one of the pre-existing conditions. Like, I had 2 pre-existing conditions. So keep up on that so that way you make sure.
Absolutely.
Word. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
Much
not
love.
into it, but we've been through it. So
Much love.
just want her to get better. I want to take her to the lake, watch some fireworks on Friday, bring her back home. I may not do the whole big weekend plans, but if I can, get her to a lake, she'll be happy. Maybe get her some good old barbecue.
Barbecue.
You know what I'm saying?
Barbecue at the lake. Barbecue at the water.
It, man. When I get on that grill, I change people's lives, bro. You know what I'm saying? I change people's lives.
You don't
on the
have to
grill.
take my word for it.
I be hauling a green egg with me, homie.
There you go. A green egg. Oh, the green egg grill.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like green eggs and ham. I was like,
No,
word, I'm down. Let's go.
I don't have that book. I think it was outlawed. But yeah, no, I know. That's what I like to cook off of. Outside cooking on my green egg when I can't have, because the offset smoker is just too big to burn, So I'll just haul the green egg and I love smoked beef.
You're right. Yeah, those green eggs are. I've only had maybe 2 or 3 green egg grill meals. Like, you know what I mean? Meals where I got to eat meat off a green egg.
Yeah.
But they were fucking amazing. And I
Yeah.
got to say, man, the one thing I learned is that, yeah, the way it holds the smoke, you know, and that's the problem. If I can get on a July 4th man topic just for a moment.
What's the best grill?
Here's the problem with grilling. Is that these fools don't understand. Now, I'll wait to let you know my pedigree. And I'll just tell you how I feel. And then if I'm challenged, I'll give you my credentials. However, it's so much. The problem is everybody's like, it's about the heat. No, sir. It's about the smoke. The smoke is what cooks the meat, not the heat. The smoke is what smokes in that flavor and actually cooks that meat. And in fact, most of the time, you're cooking your shit too high. You're using too high of heat or too high of flame. Not you, Cartman.
No.
Everyone listening. Most of the time, the vast bulk of people using a grill to cook their food is burning the crap out of their food. And you know what I mean? Tastes like charcoal and lighter fluid or, you know, crispy, dirty meat. And it's because they don't understand it's about that smoke, not about that heat. A man who has a green egg knows. I needn't say a thing. You know what I'm saying? I need to say a word to you about it.
I jerry rig a Dollar General fan. I don't buy their $500 attachment fan to control the temp. When I'm cooking meat, I plan on spending my day with that meat. You know? And so I rig a fan up so I can control the temperature, how hot I want it. If it's getting too cool, well, I turn on that fan and I warm it up, get it to the temperature I want, keep it consistent, you know, within that 10-degree range, I'd say, doing it that way. And depending on what you're cooking or what you're smoking is the time, you know, and what you're always looking for is that nice pink, brother, on that outside underneath that smoked crust. That little 8-inch pink.
Right. That's what it is, dog.
And that pecan. Oh, yeah. Mesquite. Yep. And then you got your sauces. Because I like my Kansas City molasses, ketchup, brown sugar based sauces. That's what I like.
See, that's I know that's that northern Kansas stuff, and that's fine. Y'all can do that.
Yeah, you like the vinegary, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, and spice, man.
I like spice.
I like okay. So what we want that we want a sweet note, a nice sweet note running through it,
and then
but it is a smoky, spicy. I'm talking. I want black peppery, red peppery, salty. You know, lots of like, you know, honestly, put literal mesquite wood in the thing. You know what I mean? And cook it out and we'll strain it out. But like, you know, it's got to be super smoky and spicy, little less sweety, little less thicky. I don't want like a ketchup with a little spice in it. I want a sauce. It's got to be a little more watery, but not watery. But anyway, look, man,
you're vinegar more, and I'm more.
Yeah, one thing you'll find about me, like, I love cooking the meats and everything, but I am a sauce. Like, you can ask my wife, you can ask my mom, you can ask anyone who I actually cook for on a regular. I am a sauce. Like, I'll start sauces, dog. Like, you know, like on the reg, at least once a week, I'll do a 3, 4, 5 hour marinara. You know what I mean? I'll start it at noon. You know what I mean? Yep. At its base, and then I'll throw stuff in. I'll do that with chilies. I'll do it. In fact, normally for July 4th, I like to do a all-day chili or an overnight chili. So I'm a sauce guy. I love doing those sauces, man. That's like my. I got that.
Yeah, hey, we're gonna, man. We got lots of shizzle to spizzle about.
Oh snap! Superfan in the building. He says he can make a good barbecue sauce. All right, Northern boy. I'll see your good barbecue sauce. Look, here's the thing y'all don't understand. The further south you get, the more delicious the food gets. I, being the most southern of us all, have to tell you that y'all can't barbecue the way I can barbecue. You just can't. It's okay. I'm sure you could do your northern cream of mushroom soup stuff good. And I'm sure you, Cartman, you can do your like prairie dog stews good or whatever you have.
Squirrel, some bitch. It's squirrel.
Yeah, no, prairie dog is down here. You're right. But when it comes to barbecue, sorry guys, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got you. But it's okay. It's okay. Enjoy your hot dogs and whatever else.
I want to see you make a squirrel taste good, son of a gun.
Amy said, "Thank you, Vern. I can make a squirrel taste good.
Squirrel roasted over an open fire on a shovel head."
Superfan says, "Bro, I put you to the test. You know what, man? I mean, I believe you believe that. I believe you honestly believe that within you is the ability to make a barbecue sauce that would put my barbecue sauce to the test. And that's cute. I like that. I like that go get 'em attitude. You know what I'm saying?" But
I remember he pews what he flavors also. So I mean, come on.
I could be writing to check my ass can't cash. You know what I mean? Because he does work in the restaurant business and he does work with game. One thing a man who works with like game, like deer and shit like that, and other game, boar and stuff, a man like that understands the sauce because you want to highlight the flavors of that meat instead of just make a sweet sauce that people will buy because it tastes like candy.
That's your weakness in this bout.
That's not my weakness.
That's your weakness in this bout.
That's not my weakness. I
his wilderness.
I got a restaurant. Man, look.
You're city. You're city. I'm hillbilly. And he is forest man.
Yeah, he's forest man. Here's the thing, man. But I'm country city. Look, less than 2 miles away from my house, there's a restaurant that straight up serves wild boar and pheasant and duck. So I'm just saying, man. I grew up eating that stuff. You know what I mean? So,
but no squirrel.
I got y'all.
But no
I appreciate
squirrel.
y'all. I appreciate
no
both of you.
squirrel.
I've
But
had
no
squirrel. I didn't like it. I was like, why?
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, boy. What about rabbit?
Yeah, no, I like rabbit.
Rabbit's just like, I mean, it does. You can get it taste just like chicken.
Yeah, you can't. It's leaner. Man, rabbit is like it's a good stew. What I like to do is rabbit is a good, if you're going to actually do a chili or like you want a weighted sauce, with meat in it, rabbit is great for that. So depending on.
Or you rip it apart and you just fry it and eat it.
You can do that too. It's greasy,
salt,
a little
pepper.
gamey. Naturally, it's got a little bit of gaminess and greasiness to it. So, because there's so little fat, so you gotta know what you're doing. So
Antelope does too. Antelope, really lean, really gamey.
Yeah. See, I've had steak.
really
I've never had antelope, I don't think.
Yeah, and it's just all over out here. Antelope out here in Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado. They're lower altitudes of Colorado. It's just they're everywhere. And they eat them. It tastes like sage. Take a bite. It tastes like sage.
Heck yeah. Oh wow.
Because what do they eat?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the I forgot what it was. The wild boar that live up in the mountains that eat all that stuff supposedly are amazing. I just got back from up there.
Oh, up north.
It's just different eating. You know what? Yeah, man. Pacific Northwest and just the northern. You know what I mean? The Canadian bordering country, states of the country. You know what I mean? They just different food. I didn't get to eat any wild food up there. My man Superfan says I'd make some killer venison. Hell yes, you would. What I'd like to do, Superfan, actually, given your knowledge and your active, like you still do it on the reg. I would like to get you some Oklahoma venison. Because I know for a fact, just because I know that when I have Ozark deer, it tastes a little different. It really does, And I would like to get you some Oklahoma venison because as a chef level dude, you'd understand the difference. Like, oh, it's a little more fatty or it's a little more greasy or, you know what I mean? Cooks a little like this or a little like that different. And I'd like to see, what you did with it. That's I enjoy, I love that, man. I love doing stuff like that. So.
You know what, though? Sorry, bro. Sorry, Oklahoma. You come out to the Great Plains of Nebraska, where grass-fed, pure grass-fed beef, and we
don't have grass here. There are no grass-fed animals in Oklahoma.
No, it's just concrete.
Yes.
Oklahoma's considered concrete.
I think I'm way too city. I think I'm way too city because like I represent my state to y'all, and you're like this dude. I'm like, yeah, no, I got a lot more Honolulu and LA in me. Like a lot. Of people, listen, when you get down here, a lot of people are just gonna talk like this, and that's just how we talk. And I work really, really hard to learn to not talk like this, and I can slide right back into it anytime I want. You understand? I can do this all day because this is my original dialect. Hard man, this is how I talk. Okay.
I just have to raise my pitch a little bit, but I can do the same thing.
That's
Yeah,
so
I like
weird.
that. I like that going down south.
Man, when you do that, that sounds so weird because you're talking in a whole nother
You gotta left your
tone,
registry.
whole nother octave.
Talk like that.
Is that what they call them down there, an octave? Anyway, so I'm just saying I had to work hard to learn to speak the way I speak now. So, but yeah, man,
Good job.
you're not going to notice that much of a difference. Oklahoma's a little faster than Nebraska, I think.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
A little bit faster of a pace.
I know.
But you're not going to notice that much of a difference. You know what I'm saying?
In my
No.
motorhome.
A little dirtier. I think it's going to be cleaner. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think I know. I think Nebraska is cleaner. I think Oklahoma's, just southern states are a little dirtier.
Yeah, you got to get dirty down there because you know what? It's the humidity. It makes you sweat. You step out of the shower, you're already sweating. So fucking be dirty all day. I don't even know.
Well, a lot of it. I think a lot of it has to do with weather. I was thinking that up in the mountains, in those mountain towns, it's like, well, when 2 months of the year your entire city is under snow and ice. And 2 months of a year, the snow and ice naturally falling from the heavens is washing your city streets clean. And that's 4 months a year. Humans aren't living on those streets, literally sleeping on, eating on, you name it, in those streets. Well, that's a lot more cleanliness. You know what I mean? You have a lot less people to deal with, a lot less to clean up, and a lot more natural cleaning action going on. Whereas when you get Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, boy. Roll Tide.
That's Bama. But when you get to these states where you get very little freezing, like we might go a whole year and only get 3 days below freezing, right? So you can live here. You can literally live here all year round. And that's the same thing with like LA, Houston. Anytime you get into warmer climates, it's just dirtier because more people are there. There's no freezing cold to clean everything up, I think. So yeah,
I've been training myself. I've been trying to acclimate early. Been 105, 104, 102 here.
See, it's not that bad here. It's humid, but not that hot. Here, it's what is it? It's 90 or it's 79 and raining.
Yeah, that humidity gets this boy. Let me tell you, that humidity gets this boy.
Oh, and shout out Don says. Super fan says, hook me up. Nothing like some fresh swamp deer. I'm with it, man. Swamp deer is good deer.
Dude, Don, take anything. Sorry. Yo, Don, you take anything, bro. Somebody gonna send you something, you ain't gonna say no.
He knows how to. He'll take that meat. He'll cook it up. We eat a lot of frog here, believe it or not. Frog is a very common thing out here.
Frog leg? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They get them battered. They batter them. I'd have to batter them.
It literally tastes like little chicken legs. Like honestly, of all the things, it tastes like chicken. When you get those fry and they serve them like chicken wings with the dip, they fry them like chicken wings. You can tell a difference, but almost not. By about the fourth bite, you can't. The first, you're like, oh, this is a little different. But by the fourth bite, you're like, I'm eating chicken wings.
Texturally different, if I remember right, when I had them. Right?
Yeah,
just
a little bit.
Yeah, but the taste is still great. And a little less meat. Unless you got a big old fat bullfrog.
Yeah, it is less meat. It's like but the legs are the bone is like toothpicks. You know what I mean? Like the bones are a little less, the meat's a little less, but anyway.
Still good stuff.
Hey man, I wish I liked shrimp. I still can't get into shrimp the way I should.
Oh.
I should love shrimp. It's a delicacy, but I'm just not. I don't know.
I eat it battered. That's it. Everything battered. Give me shit battered. Give me a candy bar battered. I don't care.
Hey, I like to eat my women battered. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, what? Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was deep. That was deep. Gone one or two ways.
You know what I'll take him raw.
Cooking or
You
a
know what
whooping.
I'm saying? I'm not picky, but
Either a cooking or a whooping. What do you say?
yeah. Superfan says y'all both need to come to Michigan. Agreed, man. That state is high on the list, man. In fact, that's probably going to be like Michigan is up there. It's Vegas and Michigan and of course Louisiana, but I've got plans to be there. So, yeah, man, driving. We should be able to get there no problem. So, yeah, man.
As long as it's mechanically sound.
Bro, what the hell, man? I gotta ask you, what's been going on with you? What's good? How you doing overall?
Overall, I'm doing great. Under all, there's issues, but overall, I'm not gonna complain about my situation because I don't live in places that other people do, so I got no right to bitch.
Well, you do have a right. It's like one of your core God-given rights.
Yeah.
However, I understand if you don't want to, or you see no reason.
Well, there's
that's
plenty of
absolutely
reasons.
fair.
Just to know if you want to go. You want to go on a ride?
Well, I just wonder what you want to bitch about. You know what I'm saying?
Liars.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I bitch about liars. Another word that we've spoken on this very show many times. And it is a human flaw. And a lot of you sons of guns out there, you need to take an introspect, an internal revenue. You idiots need to learn what accountability is. For words, for actions. They all have consequences, especially when you lie. And I'm having big time communal issues because of such lies. And so, yeah, today I've kind of separated from Buddha a little bit today for a while, and I'll get him back, But yeah, I got a little heat under me today because of life and how it's. I'm trying to.
You muted yourself, brother. You muted yourself. It's doing the thing where it says you're unmuted, but I still can't hear you. If you have to go out and come back in, that's all good. Guys, I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. We're letting Vern come back in. Hope you're excited about July 4th. I genuinely hope you're excited about July 4th. It's my second favorite holiday. My two favorite holidays are Thanksgiving and July 4th. And this July 4th is going to be extra special. It's going to be extra special. I'm extra looking forward to it, guys. It's a special time in the history of the country and the world. And it's a time to come together. I mean, I think it's a legit time where in America, we're all agreeing that freedom is important, whether you're on one side or the other. It's kind of the freedom that you want and that you're fighting for. And we can at least celebrate the fact that we all at least appreciate and want freedom. And we can appreciate the fact that our forefathers fought for it. And we can appreciate the fact that we live in the only country in the world that has ever fought a war and my ancestors died to end slavery. And I can be proud of it. Well, not mine. If you look, my family came way later. Regardless, we live in a country that bases a lot of its celebrations on freedom, independence, Thanksgiving sharing, coming together, whatever ways people want to pervert these holidays, whatever. However, I'm glad that we have freedom, and I'm glad that I have independence. I'm glad that we celebrate the theory and idea of that. And I hope you guys are able to just take a pause, appreciate the people around you, what you have, and what you are blessed with in America. So yeah. Vern is back. Are you back, baby?
Yeah, I got it figured out. That's it. I just got to go out and come back in, and I need a new cable for my mic to the computer. That's it. It shorts out sometimes. That's becoming a problem. So new cord time.
Those cables.
Yeah.
Those cables, dog. Cables are the bane of any man's existence who does production, right? I have boxes. I literally have boxes. And our rule in the house, I'm like, never throw any cable away.
I need
because there'll be 14 that I don't need, and the one you throw away, I don't need for 3 years. But then there's a hard drive that has a special thing. Literally, I'm going through that right now. There's one hard drive that needs one thing, and that's the one cable I don't have. Yeah, man. And cables are always going to go out. You know what I mean? My pew pew was going out, and it was the cable. Now, pew pew strong.
Well, brother, just so you know, when we do hook up, you got your pew, homie. You don't get to play with the big dog yet, but you get your baby pew. All right? That's going with you. That's your gift.
Awesome. I love it. I'm in. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go with the pew pews. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we were talking about July 4th. I'll go ahead and read this. I had to drop a comment today. You know what I mean? So I was angry and I had to drop a comment. There was this guy I know whose father is very wealthy. His family comes from doctors. He's a professional writer, comedian who's made a really good living as a writer, like millions of dollars, has a beautiful home on the East Coast and a great family, has the kind of life most of us would kill for, right? Second generation immigrant family. You know what I mean? Came to this country. His family worked hard. He went to, I want to say Harvard. Anyway, he's an Ivy League school graduate, got to work for Saturday Night Live, big time, makes a great, he's the kind of guy who is living the dream. Great family, plenty of money, beautiful home, following his career path. You know what I mean? Union job, everything. Yes. Cheers to that man for that. Cheers to you, Aaron. I won't say your last name, but it's so good for him. However, he made a post today saying how he didn't feel he could celebrate July 4th because of all of the oppression and struggle and how he was ashamed of his country. So I went ahead and hit him with this. I wish I could afford to be ashamed sometimes, right? So this is what I left. He said he didn't know if he could celebrate it all. He was so ashamed and so embarrassed to be American. So I put, LOL, y'all liberal money types are so spoiled and so hypocritical and selectively outraged. I legit hope you have a terrible day surrounded by us poors who don't get to celebrate every day in life like you do because everything is so fucking great.
Amen.
Yes. You only have a fake idea of a president to cry about. LOL, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face emoji. You only have the fake idea of a president to cry about. Like, if the worst thing in your life is your perceived ills of a guy you don't like in the White House, you have a pretty good life. If you're not worried about how you're going to feed your family, keep your lights on, you know what I mean? Keep your job if you want July 4th off. You know what I mean? If you're depending on the overtime you're about to get this weekend so you can put groceries in your fridge, that's a different life. Not this guy's life. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Or even just to buy a string of black cats for your kids so they can have a little bit of fun and feel some normalcy like everyone.
Exactly. So I put white trash. I put everything is so fucking great. You only have a fake idea of a president to cry about. LOL. Then I put white trash for life. We are equal to you. We care more about poor people because we are the poor people. You have money, pearls to clutch, and family wealth. We have none of that. But we have to work for you while you tell us how bad we are, and we shouldn't be doing such lowly work because it's for the poor Browns. You know, the ones who don't deserve a living wage to clean your pools or pick your crops.
Or clean your feedlots.
Or any job that you say white people and black people are too valuable to do. We need poor, brown, illegal immigrants to do those jobs. You disgusting. And that's what Jasmine Crockett said it. She's like, black people ain't doing no more field work. I feel bad for the actual black farmers out there that are actual farmers that are busting their ass to feed other people. One of the most awesome, pure, badass jobs you could do is be a farmer. And the black farmers that black leadership is saying, we don't do that no more. Like it's slowly. No, it's an honorable profession, man.
Not all farmers are honorable, though. I know one.
I know, man. I'm making a point. But the profession is.
Me too.
The profession is. So anyway, and I've heard them say, basically, this is for the poor Browns. This menial jobs, white people aren't going to do it. And if they are, they must be stupid white people. Literally, why aren't they doing other jobs? It's like, what if this is the job they have, man? Yeah, like this. All of these arguments come from a place of privilege where they don't understand what it takes to get by and what you have to do sometimes. They don't get that. They wouldn't have any of the opinions they have if they had lived that. However, we'll keep rolling here. I didn't quite finish. So he said, let me go ahead and go back. So, but we have to work for you while you tell us how bad we are and how we shouldn't be doing such lowly work because it's for the poor Browns who don't deserve a living wage to clean your pools or pick your crops. I put, go cry harder. There's a poor Mexican mother with 3 kids under 12 and no family or money that wants to barbecue and pop fireworks with her kids. So while you're there, letting us all know how sad you are because you're not oppressing at the level you'd like, and you're being forced to see us dirty poors as equal, I'll be hanging with some good folks, and we are going to be full of joy and happiness that at the very least we aren't so self-centered and hateful, egotistical and racist that we can't enjoy a day off to celebrate what we have accomplished. Happy July 4th. Go spend some of your money and your time on poor people. You'll feel different. The end.
Okay. Can I say something, bro? For you. Mike sent me this before the show. Mike did send me this before the show. It has to be said, not read.
Fair enough.
Okay. I mean, bro, props. I read it. Okay, and I was like, yeah. You said it, and I'm like, let's go, revolution, let's go. Words have power. Words have power, and what you just said resonates with at least 90% of the world.
I would hope. I mean, clearly no, but I would hope. But yeah.
I mean, it resonates. I mean, I'm seeing resonates in a good way, like sticking up for is what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's
defending.
Well, bro,
Same.
we've both been lucky enough, and I mean this, blessed enough, lucky enough to experience times where we've had plenty and times where we've had little. Right? Yes. Being entertainers, we've had those times where we were in hotel rooms that we could never afford out of pocket, eating meals we could never afford, hanging with people who have no idea our lifestyle, and we don't know much about theirs. But we're there and we're hanging and we're fitting in, and anything we could imagine we could want at that moment we could have. We've also been in those times where, it's, we got to we got to use the electric oven to heat the house because we got the gas cut off.
You gotta
we don't
find
have-
a friend. You gotta find a friend's house to shower at because your water's shut off,
Correct. Yeah.
or you're living in a Suzu Trooper.
So, or or maybe you're like, okay, I got rent and electric paid, but I am literally going to the food bank for expired boxes of rice-a-roni. You know what I mean? For my meals this week, whatever it is. We've been there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, both. Yes, all of it.
Yep.
And I can promise you, I am not at the richest, but I'm not at the poorest right now. I'm somewhere in the middle. But I will say, man, that and blessed, very blessed. I'm not actually in the middle at all. I'm way closer to the bottom. One bad break and it's all gone. But that's where most Americans are. You know what I mean? We're treading water, moving forward slightly. However, at the end of the day, I can tell you, man, that if you're so in your own ass and your head is so far up your own ass about how mad you are that the guy you wanted isn't in the White House, and your head is so far up your own ass that you only watch other people whose head is up their ass complaining about how even though you're wealthy beyond some people's wildest dreams and you have more than some people could ever dream about, somebody with my skin color is around doing things you don't like, and so you've got to be miserable. Or the guy you wanted isn't running shit, so you've got to be miserable. I promise you, if your head is that far up your ass and you're listening to people whose heads are that far up their asses, if you go spend some time with a single mom with 3 or 4 kids, you go spend some time with a single with a family, a hard-working dude, the dude that, I don't know, maybe is your maintenance man at your job, or the janitor, or the guy who changes your tires. You go hang around a guy like that with maybe a couple of kids, living in a poor house or an apartment with his 2 kids, and he's working as a journeyman plumber, knee-deep in shit literally every day. Got to get his 2 years in before he can really make that money. So right now he's just grinding with his 2 babies and doing everything he can. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes,
you go spend some time with them, and they will cook you some of the most delicious meat you've ever ate. You know what I mean? And they will be some of the
kindest. What you need is just eat it. It'll be tasty.
It'll be damn delicious. Yeah, man.
Yes, it will be.
And that's the, that's kind of the point there, is that if you do that, you will feel like you are lacking nothing. You will feel like with these people who have far less than you, who are far less upset because they're far less special and privileged to understand all the horrors and damages of America, you're going to be with those people far happier outside of a $40,000 2-bedroom house barely standing up, eating delicious barbecue with kids laughing, watching fireworks pop. You will be so much more full of joy and understand life on such a better and deeper level than if you just continue to be the cunt that you are right now. And yes, I said that word.
Welcome to my universe.
I use strong words selectively, but I don't know a better word to say. If you would rather hurt children and be shitty about our country because you're so selfish and self-centered and hateful and bigoted that you do not want to allow other people to enjoy a day off from their hard work because you get to take off whenever you want, your work's not that hard in the first place. Fuck you. You're a cunt.
And that's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy telling you. That's my guy.
Come at me on that one. So, yeah.
And I support my guy. So come at me. Oh, my guy. No, nobody want that happen. Don't come to me.
Have you heard about Alligator Alcatraz?
I did see a little. I was scrolling a little bit before I went to the dock today, and I did see that it's actually a thing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Hey man, it's awesome. I don't know why we haven't had it for a long time already. So yeah, man.
Bring back the modes. Let's go.
Yes.
Bring them back. Let's go. Let's go some. Let's go old school, old English on that ass. Oh yeah, I like the idea of them opening up the old Rock Alcatraz too. I like that. Cut that off as a tourist attraction. That don't make that much. And it is on the rock. It's a foundation. Fix it up.
Yeah, they were saying it's a cost though. Like it only holds 500 and it costs so much because of where it's at and all of that. So whereas Alligator Alcatraz is down south. Now here's the thing. If you pay attention, it's an old airport. It was an old shipping airport. That's why all the concrete is laid and they were able to put everything up so fast. There's foundations, there's concrete, there's electricity. All of that's all ran out there. So all of these, what about an environmental study? It's like they're putting tents up on concrete where power's already been ran, where they had a full airport and restaurants and a hotel. It was just one of those, small town flying in, from nowhere, stay there overnight. Then you go, either on south or up north to the mainland. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's already done. It's already a place that's existed. So that's why they're able to do it so fast. And I think it's great, man. I really do.
Already had the infrastructure. Give me 1 second.
I think it's a great idea. My issue is that a lot of our prisons are, right next door to apartments and children and things like that. And I'm not saying prisoners are all bad people. I don't think they are. In fact, I think the vast majority of people in jail made mistakes paying their price, and they're going to get out and be, great men for our society and women. However, if they're on the escape, the thing is not them having the prison. It's when they get out of that prison that is the issue. You know what I mean? So if they're on the escape there, that is what we would be concerned about. So, and what we do not want to, what we don't want to focus on, if you will, for lack of a better way to say it. That's the concern there. So then we've got some more breaking news. Looks like Diddy is innocent. It looks like Diddy is, not innocent. It looks like P. Diddy has been found not guilty. That is the breakingest breaking news right now. So I don't have all the info. We're going to pull it up and look at it together. Let's see here. I'm looking it up. Give me 1 second. Let's see here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. What up, brother?
Just had a guess. That's all. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'm back, homie. Let's hear what you were talking about because I was gone. I had to step out. Handle business. Back.
I want to watch this. Diddy walks. Diddy is found not guilty.
Yes, I saw that today.
So we are going to pull up the quartering. And we are going to watch this.
Diddy. That's on
wow, I'm actually shocked. Diddy is going to walk. Looks like the verdict is in. The jury has spoken. And my prediction from yesterday's video ended up being 100% correct. And believe me, it was just a lucky guess. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on it. But what now? Well, Diddy was found guilty of 2 of the 5 charges, but not guilty of the only charges that really mattered. I predicted yesterday that they were stuck on the prostitution charges because they were the same crime committed twice, and they were unsure if that would mean a RICO charge. That's why they were stuck. Turns out that looks to have been correct. Not guilty on charge 1, the racketeering conspiracy. Not guilty on trafficking, and not guilty on transportation to engage. No, that's not right. They mistyped that. He was not guilty on the trafficking charges. He's only found guilty of hiring
prostitution.
That's it. As of while I'm recording this video, I may have a final answer on this, but as of right now, it looks like he's going to be released on bond today.
Wow.
Given he's already served a significant amount of time in prison for essentially prostitution charges, I don't see how you don't let him out. I mean, he's only been found guilty of prostitutes. So, I mean, are you going to give a first-time offender years in prison for that? That seems really unlikely. But let's go to some of the initial reaction breakdown. And then that way, at about minute 7 or 8 of this video, we'll get to the absolute latest in everything. Let's go to Fox News' cover. Here's the original. Here's Fox News.
Is being brought.
Jurors feel persuaded on that charge, whether they're going to find Diddy guilty.
Okay, we have breaking news here, CB, and I just want to tread just a little lightly on this because the jury is being brought into the courtroom now. They are seated in their seats where they have been now for the past 7 weeks. Remember that first charge?
I knew yesterday that they were going to come to an answer really quick this morning. We had the 4th of July coming in. They were all going to go home and think about it last night. So again, count 1, racketeering, not guilty. Count 2, trafficking, not guilty. Count 3, transportation to engage in, basically buying puss, guilty. Count 4, trafficking, not guilty. Count 5, the second prostitution charge, he was found guilty of. Now, obviously, the maximum sentence here is several years, but he's not getting several years for this. Like that's crazy. I would argue that most people probably aren't going to prison on a first offense of hiring prostitutes at all. So my prediction is now he's going to be set free with time served.
Time served.
But look at this. So Diddy Combs found guilty on transportation for prostitution, but not guilty on the most serious charges. Combs was charged with 1 count of racketeering, 2 counts of trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. We all knew he wasn't going to beat the prostitution charges because the literal prostitutes testified against him.
There you go.
But what's interesting is how
Today,
quickly
Junior.
this came about. And I want to go to the absolute, what does he actually face now? So he could face a maximum of 20 years in prison if he was convicted on 2 prostitution charges, which would be bananas. There was zero precedent for that. I mean, I'm saying that confidently. There may be, but there is no way in heck they give him 20 years in prison for hiring prostitutes twice. Now, I guess it was multiple times and, but you don't go to prison on your first offense of hiring prostitutes. That's really rare. Each count he was convicted of has a maximum of 10 years and could theoretically be added together into a 20-year sentence. There is no minimum sentence for those charges of transportation to engage in prostitution or our Mann Act transportation. That's the thing. Like, if there were a minimum of 5 years, like the RICO charges, or 10 years, whatever that was, or a minimum of, X years, like in the trafficking cases, I would argue that Diddy was probably extraordinarily happy with this verdict.
You think, genius?
Diddy only found guilty on prostitution charges. And of course, Diddy nods head as verdict that acquitted him on the most serious charges were read out. He then held his hands in prayer dresser and waved them in the direction of the jury approvingly. I imagine if I were Diddy's lawyer, I would have been telling him, like, well, you probably, in terms of preparation, you're not getting off these prostitution charges. But the rest of them, I thought, well, who exactly were these women trafficked to? And you have all these text messages that said that they were, I'm really excited for our next freak off. When are we going to have our next freak off? I think to really get the conviction, they probably would have had to expose potentially other Hollywood names. Remember when this case started?
You're just saying that
The
human
implication
names
that
don't matter.
was that
Hollywood names are the only ones that
everybody in
matter.
Hollywood was implicated. Remember?
Yep, I believe
Everybody
it.
in Hollywood
I believe it.
was a suspect. They were all attending these parties, the freak offs. Turns
I mean,
out, at least
What chance do I
what we
stand,
had in
Mike?
court,
Yep.
none of them were implicated. Nothing, nobody was implicated.
You cannot
who did he
fight these
traffic
rich
to?
assholes
the
that
ultimate,
do this
question.
dirty shit
It
to
was
children.
just like with, Jeffrey and his wife. Who did they traffic to?
They're
because
protected.
they didn't name anybody in court. Now, Diddy's lawyer has said the rapper should be released from jail now that he's been acquitted of the most serious charges. Diddy Combs' lawyer, Mark, is asking the judge to release the rapper from jail now.
He will.
Now that he's been acquitted of the most serious charges in the case against him, my proposal would be that he be released today, that he be permitted to live in his home in Florida. It would be a bond of whatever size Your Honor sees fit, maybe $1 million. As of 12 minutes ago, the judge has left the room.
Watch the
Loud
people that
cheers
stop
ring out of
breathing.
courtroom as Combs exits. After the judge left the room, Combs got on his hands and knees on the floor and appeared to pray to himself. His family and supporters then erupted in loud cheers after he stood up and blew a kiss towards them. Several of his attorneys hugged each other. Combs then exited the room through a side door as his family gave loud, supportive whistles. Now what? Well, the bombshell trafficking case against Diddy Combs turned out to be the most expensive prostitution trial in American history.
Wow.
Defense attorney
Prostitution?
and former prosecutor said Tuesday that the feds didn't secure a guilty verdict on racketeering count against a hip hop mogul. The case would really only boil down to 2 prostitution charges. Like I said all along, these cases will come down to racketeering. If the government does not get a RICO conviction, this will be a massive loss and the most expensive prostitution trial in American history. Ramani predicted the outcome of the jury verdict, that they would only be able to convict the Bad Boy Records founder of the 2 counts of transportation, and they would acquit him on the trafficking charges. The lawyer said trafficking is difficult to prove because consent is a defense. And Combs' lawyers had shown a plethora of text messages that Combs accused were eager to participate in freak-offs or these hookup marathons. What a tremendous loss for the prosecution and a huge win for the defense. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get, an update on whether or not he's going to be released today. I suspect, honestly, if he's only guilty of prostitution, he should be let out of prison today.
Agreed.
The fact that he served so long in prison just for prostitution charges is actually bonkers if you think about it. And right now, it looks like he's going to be released today. I would argue, sure, the prostitution charges. Here you have Megyn Kelly.
Times reporting here, color from inside the courtroom. Sean Combs is smiling as he shook one of his lawyer's hands and turned again to look at his family. He put his hands together in prayer and mouthed, thank you at the jury. That's the right thing to say, Sean Combs. He pumped his right fist. Yep, this is exactly the right attitude for Sean Combs, who just got away with serious felonies, in my view. He's guilty as sin, in my view, and this jury just gave him a total pass.
Agreed.
Mark Agnifalo's argument, it appears, the same one that did not work for Agnifalo in the Nexium sex cult case out of Albany.
Well, I would argue this. I never believed that they proved trafficking. I also never believed that they proved that any of these women were unwilling participants. So all that, if you go back to my video, even yesterday, or other videos on the Diddy case, you'll see that I've been consistent in saying they're not going to find him guilty. It looked dire yesterday, and my prediction ended up being correct. Here's Viva Fry. I'm trying to find some of the, the most, the lawyers that I know, and there's not a lot of weighing in on it yet, but he should be out today. I'm not saying that he's not guilty of what they accused him of, but what I am saying is the jury found him not guilty, and the only thing they found him guilty of was prostitution.
Then give him max 10 years per.
Yes, it's bad. It's against the law, but you have willing participants here. People are saying it's not surprising. I don't know. The Southern District of New York generally, quote unquote, gets their man. And obviously Diddy has a mountain of civil lawsuits to worry about. Civil lawsuits, hundreds of millions of dollars. Who knows where those are going to play? But as of right now, court will reconvene this afternoon to discuss pre-sentencing conditions for Diddy. Letters from both defenses and prosecution are expected to the judge by 1 p.m. My prediction right now is that Diddy will leave the court today as a free man awaiting sentencing. I expect he won't get a sentence stiffer than what he's already served, but we'll see. We'll have an update video a little bit later today. I expect him to walk. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
First thing I think is you're trying to get to a Diddy party, bro.
You think he's trying to get to a
You want
Diddy
an
party?
invite. You want an invite. Look at the empathy he is giving him.
Well, okay, so that's a good point.
Too much empathy towards that on that. That wasn't a straight up honest report when you have the facts that are actually out there. This is an injustice. This is an American injustice to protect powerful people with a lot of money because he's no longer P. Diddy. He's got to be something else now. But whatever he is, he had enough cameras, he had enough video, he had enough digital, he had enough audio on enough powerful people that we all knew he was never gonna be found guilty. If we want to be honest with ourselves.
And I don't disagree. I agree with you.
Lock him, get him out.
Okay. However, here's the issue, right?
I know the law.
Yeah, you know me, man. I'm a very like, if we don't like the laws, we change the laws. We don't ignore the laws. So, like, do I think he's guilty of sin? Absolutely. Do we know he did horrible things? We saw the video of him doing what he did to Cassie.
And we haven't even seen what he...
And that was one thing caught on video outside of a room. God knows what he did when he knew he was protected and there were bodyguards outside and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So yeah, I think he's guilty of sin. However, at the end of the day, you know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? It's you know what it is, man.
Yeah, the prosecutors were part of all of it with the government to make sure they didn't prove the case to 100% to where he would go away.
Yeah.
They did enough to prove that they can say, hey, we found him guilty on 2 counts. We found him guilty on 2 counts. Hey, look what we did. They didn't just let him go free. They found him guilty.
That's true.
This is a political thing. 100%. Come at me. Illuminati. Whatever. Come on. I'm sick of this. All this. No, I did. I did figure out his name. I did. That's it. Just blame me. He's the new OJ. He's 2025's OJ.
Yeah.
I can be funny when I'm mad. I can be funny when I'm mad.
No, that is funny. Like, I'm trying to think of the similarities and the differences, right? Because it's hilarious to me. Like, yeah. Because that is a landmine.
They had Suburbans. They didn't have a Bronco. They had Suburban.
Right.
They were, instead of cop cars, they brought in the military or SWAT.
That's fair. That's true.
And I ain't going to go too far. I mean, we don't know because we don't know. And we never will know. It's going to be another one of them closed case files. Epstein's still not come out. None of them files have ever come out. They give you little tidbits. Oh, no. Yeah, that's obvious. Give us what's really there. The JFK files. It's almost, 25 years and it'll be almost 100 years since this happened?
Mm-hmm.
Give us the truth.
Well, I mean, true that. And, even more so to co-sign on that, we live in a world where Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in prison right now, serving time for the crime of trafficking minors, but to no one. There's no person that's been held accountable for giving her the money and hiring her to traffic those children.
Nope.
So who did it?
One's dead, so yeah. Or he's out there in the island. He might not even be dead.
Oh, I don't think he's dead.
No,
So
they're high. He had too much power, too much money, too much knowledge, and there ain't no way that guy that size hunting himself on that. Your knees are gonna catch you. You're naturally gonna, no, even if you want to. When you get to that point, there's a point where, oh fuck, oh fudge, I need to survive.
yeah,
And he's got low to the floor. He ain't hanging himself. Sorry, I've been in jail before, a couple times. I'm
Yeah.
a story, bro. I'm a story.
yeah, no, yeah. Jail is no fun. So, but they make it that way on purpose. Fair enough. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
But it's survivable, bro. 3 hots in a cot. Somebody else is taking a dirt nap. Sorry, I itch. But yeah, I mean, you wake up every day with a smile on your face, and they're in the dirt. That's what them guys in the jails and prisons think.
That's true.
I mean, that's honestly what they think. They stay in there happy, for real. I mean, I've actually talked to psychologists who have studied that.
Right.
Specifically studied the death row inmates and what led up, what sort of feelings and what sort of things happened during that whole process.
Right.
From the time they decided to do something like that until they ended up in prison. And a high majority of them are pretty content with what they chose to do.
You think?
That's what the study showed.
And that's fair. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because those people, they just see, I mean, they get tunneled, right? And they do. Some of them get tunneled in what's right and what's wrong. And when they see it's just such a horrendous wrong, there's a weird, universal, spiritual, like, Satan thing. Because it's all that's influenced by dark matter, by dark energy. It's not influenced by any positive energy, even though it feels that way, to them. And then, but that is, I mean, that's the devil, Bobby Boucher. The devil.
That's right. No, and it's
that's what it is.
that comes down to pride a lot. Hey man, we're gonna take a quick pause here. You're doing
Pause.
so good, dude. We're gonna read an ad. Are you ready? I'm gonna do a live ad read.
Go.
So watch this. You guys ready? We're excited. I've got something I'm excited to tell you about. Me and Vern are both excited to share this with you guys. And what? Hold on. What is it saying? It doesn't want to do it now. Come on now. Hold on.
Take my picture off the screen. It'll let it happen.
No, it's not it.
I'm even going with a dip. There you go.
Accept and start. It doesn't want to go. Hold on. We'll try another one. That one was just the most money. That was 43 cents. We'll go to the 28 cents one.
Or even a quarter.
Let's see. Let me do it. There we go. All right, guys. This sponsorship is from Rumble, the main platform we broadcast on right now, the most important streaming service platform in the world currently. It's incredibly important to the survival of the company, this sponsorship. Listen, guys, when Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. That's me. That's you. That's the people that you support. They don't have censors. They didn't have censor or biases. They were fair. They treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would ever censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from Biden and the Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They were attacked and are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. Many things we say here I couldn't say on YouTube. They are attacked in corporate media, Rumble is. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech, and Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive without brand advertisers, and they don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask of you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you really have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining the Rumble team and joining Rumble Premium. Join this community. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO. That's right. Studio. Just say the word studio. STUDIO. Let's go. The promo code STUDIO. When you put that in, you get $10 off. Rumble is offering you $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means, believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we are just happy if you watch us on Rumble, drop in the chat, and share your favorite shows. Guys, thank you so much, and thank you to Rumble. We appreciate it. Bam! And that is our live read for today. Thank you so much, Rumble.
That's our very first ad thing.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
28 cents, bro. We just made
Moving
28
on
cents.
up to the east side.
After fees, we're going to collect probably about 24 cents off of that. So you just made 12 cents, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel it. It's raining down. Pennies from heaven. Pennies from heaven, yo.
I'll show you the studio thing here. Let's see.
You know what though? Hey, let's be honest. Let's be 100 right here. For me, for this guy, I know for my buddy, Mike, he's very driven. He's very goal oriented, and he has things set in his head that he's going to get done and he's going to accomplish. Me, I'm just happy to have a friend like Mike to get to talk to every week, and get to come on a platform and actually speak intelligently to another human being. So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for Mike, yo. I appreciate anybody that follows us, anybody that likes us, anybody that does anything. But man, for real, I appreciate this man right here to my left in Oklahoma.
And I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you because you understand I wasn't doing this without you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, just an empty camper.
John needs a Paul. You know what I mean? Without John and Paul, there's no Beatles. It takes both of them.
Don't
you know what I mean?
Paul? Oh, you went Beatles, you son of a.
Hey, hey.
What the hell?
You know how I am about that. Look.
Hey, look! I got a Goshen County. I got this. I got this at the Goodwill. I got a Goshen County Democratic Party T-shirt on.
Yeah.
It's a buffalo because it's Wyoming. It was a good fit. Fit nice. Nice.
Those
color.
Democrats were
Do
like,
not come.
hey, Clarkman.
Do not come.
But Clarkman said,
I'm gonna come.
Oh, I had to clean it up. It's my crunchy shirt.
I love it, man.
I love getting to be me here, yo.
Hell yeah, bro. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? Like, what I like is that we like us, even if nobody else likes us. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of it. And the thing is, people do like us, like shockingly. Like, thank you for those of you that are liking us.
The thing that happens with people like me and Mike is it absolutely in no way, shape, or form affects who we are or our outlook or our personalities or what we're gonna do if somebody don't like us.
No.
At all. Me and Mike are the same in that way. You know, I'll just walk right on by you. It don't bother me, and I'll keep walking. I don't have to have everybody as a friend. I'd like a few thousand, yo. Let's go. But I mean, I don't need everybody.
Yeah. No. Well, and
Had
then
to
there's
throw a positive plug there.
no, absolutely. But hey, and look, there's friends, and then there's friends. Okay. And I mean that in the kindest possible way, and that's something you learn in this business real quick. And that is that you have the kinds of friends that are friends when it's easy and cool and groovy to be your friend. And then you have the kind of friends that will stick with you, and it may cost them something. You know what I mean? Hey, brother, I'm going through that right now, where there are people in power in a certain organization, which, they take themselves way too seriously. Let's just get that out of the way. But there are people high up in some organization actively telling fighters and people not to talk to me, not because I've done anything wrong, but because of who my friends are and because of who I have on my show and because of whose shows I'll go on. And it's like, because you work with this person, you're a bad person automatically. And I say to that, screw you. You know what I mean? I'll be friends with who I like, and you don't understand our relationship. And the fact that I'm looking at, and I base a lot of my stuff on a couple of criteria, dog. And one of those criteria, one of the main ones is what you just said. And that is, how important is it for you to be liked? And I'll do you one better. How well can you manage being hated? That, to me, is a real test of who you are as a person. Because if you go, you know what? I might get hated for telling what I see to be the truth. I might get hated for exposing something that no one else is talking about and questioning that. You know what I mean? That kind of thing there. So, that might happen, and I might get hated. Am I willing to stand up and be hated? Am I willing to defend my point of view? And am I willing to at least be wrong, so much so that I'm willing to hear other people give me different points of view and listen to that and understand that I'm not always right, and I'm willing to be hated and be wrong? That's how willing I am to stand up for what I believe. Those people are the people I'm interested in.
Yes. Hey, I'm the same.
For real.
You just said everything in my brain, word for word. I mean, I don't have anything to add because you're just right. If they don't pay my bills, they don't help me out. When I've been in my downtimes, nobody was there.
Yeah, the fake people will not be there for you. You
No.
know what I mean? If there's nothing to gain by being your friend, and there's potentially things to lose, quote unquote, by being your friend, you see real quick who real friends are. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And you can find out that you don't have any in your area.
There.
I'm not going to say any because I have a lot of friends, yo. It's
Yeah.
just the people in the area I'm in don't realize I have a lot of friends. Because Don's a friend. To be honest, I've given him so much personal information about my life. That man, I can't not let him be a friend. I've given him so much.
Oh, Don is a real cat, man.
Yeah. And then
Anybody
Anthony,
who, yeah, absolutely.
Anthony's the same. I've had a lot of, I've talked a lot with Anthony, myself when we go on those trips because I was with Don, and that's just how that works. Are all of them my friends? No. Do I talk to all of them all the time? Absolutely not. I talk to a few, a select few, and usually the select few I talk to are really the ones that lift me up. That's what I support. Somebody that lifts me up, helps me out, helps me get to my goals, then I'm good with that.
Heck yeah.
But anybody else, anybody try to take me down, anybody tried to, I don't even consider the word cancel culture or be canceled. I don't care. I'll start a different thing. Cancel this one, start another one. You know what I'm saying? With my homie. It don't matter. Keep rolling no matter what. And hate, for me, I don't know about my homie, But for me, is all you're doing is giving me free unleaded gasoline, brother. You throw
I
me hate, I get jet fuel. Let's go. Because there's nothing about me to hate because I'm a good man. But you want to bring that, I'll defend that.
Look, man, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, but so that beard could be hateable. It brings jealousy in people. People don't have white, luscious, lovely beards, and they hate you, and because they don't know why they hate you, bro. But they just do it. They don't realize it's the luscious beard they're hating on, and they're hating on it because they ain't on it. You know what I'm saying? So understand, there is things to hate about you, but it's just awesome shit. It's not like hateable shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's stupid shit.
Haters are gonna hate. It's what they do.
I love it. I love it. You know, there's a time where you kind of got to get through the muck of the hate, right? Those real, because hate causes chemical reaction at first, instantly. You can't control it. It causes like this fire for me instantly.
Yeah.
And then I got to tame that fire down a little bit, and then compress it, and then I got to refine it into fuel, and then I use it.
Heck yeah.
I mean, you can turn that negative into a useful motivator.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Not only that, not only a useful motivator, which yes, absolutely 100%. But even past that, compassion, bro. I mean, the ability to help other people and relate to other people, care about other people, meet others where they're at, to build the kind of relationships that really and truly get you by in this life. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's invaluable. And unfortunately, you have to suffer to understand suffering.
Word.
But when you do, and as Buddhism says, and Christianity even says, you suffer so you can understand and have better compassion. And, compassion is considered the human staple that, is required to survive, in humanity. So, yeah, man, it is great fuel for your fire. And
You're
man, the lessons it teaches you. Pain teaches you lessons nothing
It
else
does.
ever can.
Yeah. And
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 also,
you learn your best. You learn your best lessons from the pain, and you learn your best lessons from the internal pain. That's
Agreed.
that's where you learn what kind of man you are.
And even past that, you are you're a super compassionate dude.
See,
And I think a lot of that is because you've been through it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, yeah. And I was gonna go there too. You're right. About the compassion part, because you brought that up. And that's why if you talk to anybody before they ever saw me on a podcast with you, they would think I was the most timid, old, fragile flower. It was just so nice and giving, and I am. But, I don't want to see any more hate. I don't want to see any more phony shizzle. I don't want to hear any more lies. I don't want to be used as a weapon to people be able to play victim to. I don't want any of that kind of negativity anymore.
Yeah.
Could I go get it? Oh, hell yeah. I'd be all right for a while. Handle myself. But do I really want that? No. I want to live happy. I want to live going to sporting events, reviewing sporting events, building cards for softball teams. My goal is a happy life. But everybody will always find, if that's their goal, you're going to find at least one person that's going to try to stop you from reaching that goal. Always in life. And that's what Mike means by hate. They're going to try to stop your goals. They're going to tell you can't get to them, that they're impossible, that they're crazy, that they're stupid. But I'm gonna tell everybody, if you got a dream of any sort in this life, you got one life. Go for the dream. If you've got the talent at something, go for that dream. Don't think that everything has to be a picket fence and 4 kids and church on Sundays and a nice painted house. Life isn't that, yo. It's not.
I mean, it can be.
It can be.
It can be, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want. If you're the kind of person who is, and I believe we need more of that, but, you know, I believe we need more people who are motivated to be involved in their PTA, motivated to be involved in their, you know, their parks and recreation department in their communities. And
I'm more of a,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
I'm the whole troubadour type that I say, yo, you got a dream, go for it.
Well, absolutely. Well, and that is some people's dream. No, and hey, brother, me and you are cut from the same cloth. Those people are aliens to me in a very beautiful and magical way. And, you know, where I'm at in life right now, I'm like, I wonder if I'd have, you know, got married at 23 versus 40 something. If I would have got married at 23, you know what I mean? And you know, I had some pretty good success selling cars when I was young before I left Oklahoma and went out and explored the world. Yeah. And I'm like, imagine if I would have, you know, settled in, got that good management job, making a couple $100,000 a year at a decent car lot. You know what I mean? I had the babies, bought the home at 28. You know what I mean? Sold it at 32 to buy the bigger home. And like, I don't, like a lot of my friends do, like a lot of my friends are doing or have done. And
Like the majority of people try to do.
And good for them. I love that. To me, you're an alien. You know what I mean? I don't understand how you're able to do that. And there's BS you put up with that I could never put up with. But also I understand my life is crazy to you. You know what? Yeah, exactly. And you know, the stresses I live under and the pressures I live under, and if I don't work, I don't eat. And when my eyes pop open in the morning, I have 14 different messages from literally 14 different people with 14 different goals, hopes, dreams, and problems. And I'm a part of helping them accomplish or fix those things. And every single one of them, and it's no problem. It's what I do. And I'm equipped to do it. But you got to go? You got to run?
No. Just go full screen you for a second.
Okay. So that's full screen him. There's full screen me. So yeah, no, just the long story short of that is, you know, living the way I live, eating what I kill, contract work, you know what I mean? You know, earning the money the way I earn the money, which is, you know, doing contracts and doing jobs, you know, that kind of thing. It's the kind of life a lot of cats with the mortgage and the kids wouldn't feel good about living. And so I hope that those cats look at me with respect and go, hey, man, we respect the fact that it takes outliers like you to make the world go round. Because I sure look at cats like that with respect, especially the genuinely good ones, and go, man, I appreciate cats like you, man, because you make our communities better. You know what I mean? And you're raising good kids, which is going to be better doctors for me when I'm older. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, you know, I think it takes all kinds. I really do. And I look at those cats with a lot of respect, even though their life ain't my life. You know what I mean? So,
did we have a comment?
From,
I don't know. Were you replying to a comment or were you just making a statement?
I was just making this. I was just feeling time.
Good job, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you. I had to get me another cold one. Cold one.
The code?
Cold. I had to get me a cold one. Sorry.
Oh,
I can
fair
speak
enough.
English. I just like speaking hillbilly. Cold
Right.
one.
Ah.
Yeah, brother. Hey, man, this is a fantastic discussion.
Absolutely. I hope so. I hope so. So I'm kind of tripping. Did he walked? I gotta be honest. Kind of tripping on that one, man.
I think we saw it coming. We all from the beginning with the way it was handled. and it was handled so quietly, even though so publicly.
Yeah.
They gave us a lot of like action photos, like the white Bronco going down the interstate. A lot of cool stuff, but we never learned anything from it.
Well, we learned what's funny is the powers that be were implicated, and that stuff got buried real quick. And the news on either side quit talking about it. Diddy's head driver, drug dealer, right? Because most of the time, your main driver is going to be your main guy. He's the guy that everything kind of goes through, right?
Did he stop?
Huh?
Did he stop breathing?
No, he testified. But he testified that they were selling drugs to Barack Obama while he was president. And there's tons of that. Remember the voter die campaign, and Diddy got millions of dollars from the DNC, and he was hanging out a lot with Barack Obama
and Hillary.
And the dude specifically said, and they had the Barack Obama pills. I remember those ecstasy pills. We couldn't get them. They were supposedly like these amazing ecstasy pills, and everybody wanted them. And this was back when I was in the drug scene, and you couldn't get them. And they supposedly were an homage because they were friends with Barack, and Barack made sure that they had cover so Diddy could do whatever drug shit he wanted to do with Tommy Mottola and Lear Cohen and that whole group of people. But nobody talks about all of that because Tommy Mottola, Lear Cohen, and Barack Obama still are super powerful. And so when they were implicated and somebody under oath testified, and it's real easy to see that they all had these relationships, that gets buried. You know what I mean? And it's somehow it's all Trump's fault. It's like Trump had nothing to do with any of this.
How many
shit.
redactions?
You know what I mean?
How many redactions?
And if he did, if he did, cool. If there were what do you think the media would be doing right now if Diddy's driver had gone up and said Trump was running cover so we could bring drugs in and distribute them throughout America?
Impeach.
And they literally had ecstasy pills with Trump's face on them. Could you imagine? That would be leading every fucking story every night, 24 hours a day. Did it with Obama. It got buried weeks ago, and we've heard nothing more about it. See what I'm saying, dude? So, yeah, man. It just, meet the old boss, same as the new boss, right? It's the same people that don't want us having the Epstein files are going to cover for Diddy. And I honestly thought Diddy was going to be the sacrificial lamb. I thought that they were going to be throwing Diddy under that bus. And he was going to be, because, a lot of times America wants to see somebody go down for something. And we know there's this huge, weird, awful child trafficking, prostitution, drug thing going on. And we know that Epstein was a part of it. Ghislaine, Diddy, probably Tommy Mottola, Lear Cohen. A lot of people were involved. Yet the only one that's actually doing any kind of time for it right now is Ghislaine. And still, it's tricky. So, America wants to see somebody take the fall for the actual crimes. I thought it was going to be Diddy. I really did. So
I thought it was going to be Jay-Z for a week.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he kept his ass clean, dude. I think he really, if you ask around, Jay-Z is the smartest one in that whole crew.
Like street smart plus business smart.
Yeah, he's one of those rare cats that can run that street hustle and knows how to put that into the boardroom. He gets that. Honestly, Trump, love him or hate him, similar. He understands there's that, I'm dealing with mafia gangsters to get concrete poured, but then I'm also going to be in these pristine white boardrooms with, Rogers rules and all of that. And I've got to, be in that $5,000 suit, and negotiate a deal. And it's two very different skill sets, but kind of the same principles. So yeah, Jay-Z's very good at that. And I think he was always smart. He always knew how to, keep himself one step away from actual implication. You know what I mean? Like you're adjacent. Yeah. What's going on in that room, but the door is shut and you have no visuals. Even though you could say you knew, you actually weren't in that room. You didn't see anything. You know what I mean? That kind of situation.
Yeah, homie, I got you.
Yeah. Get that dirt off your shoulder, player.
No, you are absolutely right, though. The world the United States, everybody should be. They should take this judgment and how things have gone very seriously. And I mean, take that and process it and look at life around you a little closer.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there no uprisings, no uproars, none of that crap. But
Yeah.
internally, learn from it, look around, be better at speaking out. Because usually the people that speak out are the ones that get the blame. And I can speak for that and personally, I can attest to that in a situation where the police ignore it and walk away from it because it's too messy for them to handle. And then when they decide it's too messy to handle, well, then the narrative gets changed. And then the rich and powerful get the narrative. And the only person telling the truth is deemed crazy, is deemed a liar, is discredited.
And it's been that way throughout history, if you think
Yeah.
about it, right?
Always. It needs to stop.
Agreed.
We're all humans. We are all humans. And there's no price too high for a human life. A decent, good human, you cannot put a price tag on that.
Agreed.
But they do.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no commodity.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, even in the area I live, this area was specifically chose as unwantables. That's why the nuclear highway runs right through here. That's why when I posted a picture a week ago of where I live, that you saw all these like bomb spots, we'll say, that they had drawn out.
Yeah.
And one is right over my motorhome.
Huh.
Right now, at least.
Yeah.
I can move that.
It can move, thankfully. But yeah, no, wow. I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. That's
No, I posted a picture where they had a map of the United States, and they had the different places that run. And I've never been a big runner, but I'll drive. But yeah, it was right there, man. And that's because of over here in Colorado State or Colorado Springs,
right.
where we got big old Mount. Good thing they don't have bunker busters.
They might though. They might.
Everybody seems really stupid right now, other than the United States, to be quite honest, when it comes to military and their force and what they actually have. It seems like there's been nothing but propaganda from almost everybody except Iran. They weren't propaganding. They were working hard, to get that pure of uranium. Kidding me? They were working their butts off. And they're already rebuilding at the Fordham site again. Salvaging what they can, try to build it back up.
Yeah. Hey, look, without getting too deep into it.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, we can, but it's.
No. Go elsewhere.
No, I just think at the end of the day, we're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that we get so deep into the dysfunction. It's like one of those, okay, you have a cut. And you don't put peroxide in a Band-Aid on that cut, and it's on your foot. And you walk around barefoot. And you're like, oh, it'll heal. Or, well, it's a cut, but I got to get to where I'm going. You know what I mean? And it's not stopping me, and it's something I should worry about, but not mainly, and it's not stopping me. So you keep going with that cut. Well, then that cut gets infected, and it hurts a little more, you know, and now you need probably some antibiotics and some, you know what I mean, and some disinfectant and a bandage, but, you know, you're busy and you can still walk and you're still functional, you know, not high functioning, but you can still limp to where you're going, and then you get gangrene because you don't fix it. And now all of a sudden, all we're trying to do is treat gangrene when we're not even focused on the foot anymore. We're focused on the gangrene and how we treat it. And all we had to do was take care of the cut. Now, that is where I feel like we're at with this whole war nuclear crap. In that, first of all, how come we get to decide who has nuclear weapons? China can have one. North Korea can have one. Russia can have one. Israel can have access to ours.
No,
India
Iran
can have one. Pakistan can have one. We can have plenty, but Iran can't have one.
no, Iran.
You sure about that? You sure?
I think
To the point of we have to risk World War III to make sure they don't get one. Okay, so there's that. We haven't even questioned, like, wait a minute. Why are we deciding that? What about that? And it's like, okay, well, China's an enemy. You know what I mean? Last time I checked, Pakistan, we're not fans. You know what I mean? So they have nuclear weapons.
even India, kind of
Yeah,
India.
India's considered an ally, though. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I know,
world
but
stage. But
I
yeah,
think
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
So I feel like we're so deep into that dysfunction of, first of all, that. Then we have the second part of, okay, so nuclear war, whatever the case, or nuclear weapons, whatever the case. Wait a minute. Why are we going to other countries and using, you know, bombs to kill their poor folks so they don't become powerful? Like, that's bully shit. You know what I mean? Like, also, has that ever worked before? Has that worked for us in the past? Did it work in Vietnam? No. Did it work in Iraq? No. Did it work in Afghanistan? No. It didn't work in any of these places. Did it work in Russia? Sorry.
that no. You're exactly right. I mean, the very first thing that everybody should have learned from was when Russia attacked Afghanistan in the late 70s, early 80s.
Right.
And Afghanistan never budged. The Russian army was getting depleted because of the terrain, how it is over there, how they can move through the terrain and we can't.
Exactly.
On foot, you know, and knowing tunnels and knowing. I mean, they over there, we might have overhead satellites and stuff, but you don't know those humans' capabilities when they get with it, you know? I mean, we should have learned from Russia to leave the Middle East alone and let them be. If they want to have their 10,000-year war that's been going on for the last 1,000 years, let them have it.
Agreed. I agree.
It's their religion. It's their way. We don't need to be pushing our way on that. That's too much. You know, let them have their religions. Let them practice them how they want. Just don't let them practice that kind of stuff on our soil. That's all.
See, and I even disagree with that. I think they should be able to practice,
attack, bomb, and fight.
not attack, but practice
That's what I'm talking
religion.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
practice religion. I'm talking about like all the fighting.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
not that. Not that part. No, not that part. No, no, no.
Religion, the fighting, and the bombs. To go ahead and fight that out over there.
I
Them.
agree.
That's their
Yeah,
fight.
you guys want to fight? Yes. As far as just
Not here, but-
peacefully going to a mosque or a temple,
Yes.
I support your
Fine,
right
me
to do
too.
that.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. So,
But I'm talking that extra edge that they got going on
oh, yeah.
between them that we get ourselves involved in, and we make ourselves a target when we should just, hey, that's religion over there. Let it. It's always been that way. But
Agreed.
don't let genocide happen. I have to say that too.
Yeah.
Yes. No
What
genocide.
I mean, if these cats want to fight, they're gonna like. That's what we know in history. If people want to fight, they're gonna fight. The problem is when our economy depends on them fighting.
Yeah. It's just
You
boosting
know,
up.
yeah, we have a war debt-based economy. That's a bad
Yes.
economy to have. So
It is. If we're not in war, we are in a recession. Is that what it is?
if we're not funding war, you know,
Yep. We're broke.
both sides. I don't want to get into it.
I know.
It sucks. You know what I mean? I will say though.
But we're not wrong.
No, we're not wrong. We're not wrong at all when it comes to that. It's I will say there's a lot of good stuff going on too. And in fact, I have to pause because it's one of those, if I don't seek out the positive news or take the 5 or 10 minutes to pay attention to positive things going on, I'm not going to get them.
Let's pause and let's go. Positive.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Jazz
But hey,
man.
man, couple of good things. I wanted to bring it up because July 4th, second favorite holiday. Thanksgiving
boom.
and July 4th are my two favorite holidays in the world.
America.
Yeah. And both because the most important part of the holiday, the most important focus of the holiday is stopping work, taking a long weekend. If you worked for a living, you appreciate July 4th off, especially if you've ever worked outside. Not too many, there's no holidays in August. Not really any holidays in June. July 4th, June, July, August, the 3 hottest months. If you work outside, July 4th is a big one for you if you get it off. Man.
Building bridges
And if you
on
don't
the road.
and if you don't get it off, you get double time normally. So it's a big deal either way. You're like, I'm getting a day off, thank God, or I'm getting double pay. So it's like, you know, I'm getting 2 days worth of pay on the one day, and that's pretty kick-ass too if I got to work. So I love the fact that July 4th and Thanksgiving are based around eating food with your family or loved ones or people you like to hang out with. I like that, dude. You know what I mean? And I wish we had more like that. And I wish
that.
yeah. Yeah, man. No, I mean, look, dude.
My life's different, you know. Than
No, hey,
Yeah.
last year it was me and my mom and my wife and my stepdad. And I think my auntie was with us. And we were in the parking lot. I'll show you where. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
We
you
were in a
will.
specific parking lot where you see the fireworks really well because it's catty corner to the park where they set them off in Norman. And we just grilled out at mom and stepdad's, and we went to this parking lot and we watched fireworks and sang songs.
nice.
You know what I mean?
guitar.
And
You
it
got your guitar then.
it was the funnest thing. You know what I mean? No $1,000 bottles needed, no fancy cars needed. You know what I mean? Just family singing silly songs, watching fireworks. You know what I mean? Like just enjoying life, dude. And that's what I love about the holiday. That's why I appreciate it. And I appreciate this is a poor people's holiday, like Thanksgiving. I like poor people holidays because I am a poor person. So there
Hot
you go.
dogs and turkey. Hot dogs and turkey. Hey, but I will say, I did get myself something special for the 4th of July to fire up the smoker on.
Ooh.
I did get me a couple little sirloin fillets that I'm going to make on the smoker on the 4th. And I also spent $5 on fireworks that I will be putting off a ground show for the folks.
Nice.
But I do live in a neighborhood that you see fireworks because these fools spend 2 months' pay on fireworks. I've never seen an area like this that I can just sit in my yard and it's an actual fireworks show. They spend that much.
Beautiful.
It is.
That's
I love
beautiful.
it. I love it. I mean, but they are celebrating. I mean, it's not. I mean, I think it's stupid to spend so much money, but they are celebrating. They're having fun, and it's families, and it's food, and they're barbecuing. You can smell. I'm sure you can too. The barbecue's just everywhere. on the 4th of July.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah.
Gunpowder, you smell, and smoked meats. What better combination, America? Smoked meats and gunpowder.
I love it.
Oh, freedom.
and there's not a lot to be proud of when you're poor. You know what I mean? This society we live in makes sure that you don't get to feel good if you're not behaving and doing what they want and producing the way they think you should. And so when you can feel that way, when you can be proud, when you can be happy, because while everything is not perfect, nor will it ever be, at least we are in one of the very few places on the planet where we at least can come together and celebrate the idea of freedom. You know what I mean? Celebrate the idea of independence from another land, that kind of thing there. So that's what I appreciate. So, and just some good news. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Good news.
Awesome.
Currently, I'm trying to pull some up real fast. I had it.
It's not a nudie of me, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
I
have that copyrighted.
That's fair. That's your own intellectual property, and we don't need all that. So, I love it. I love it. So, but there are some good things going on, man. Give me a second. I'm looking them up right now as we speak. I wanted to pull this up, so I had it.
Indiana Fever won the Commissioner's Cup last night.
Nice.
Congratulations to them in the WNBA. Congratulations. Even though Caitlin Clark was on the bench, she was injured. She didn't play the whole game, and they still won it.
Yeah, they've been taking it to her.
Yep,
So,
props. Congratulations, Indiana Fever.
heck yeah. Yeah, but they haven't taken it to her. Pretty hardcore. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing there.
I got a rookie card slab. I'll show you when I get there.
You do?
Yeah, I specifically got a Caitlin Clark specific. It's a blue laser rookie card. It's the one where she's standing up, spinning the ball on her finger, and it's a blue laser all around her. And I really think that's going to be the card that in the future is going to be sought after. And who knows? She may just go to Europe. If this stuff keeps happening to her on the courts, she might just go, hey, I'll just go play in Europe. You know, where they kind of follow the rules and, you know, it isn't so ugly, I'll say.
Yeah.
You know, because it's pretty ugly out there when she has to play the other players. But, yeah, they won the championship, though. So that was a great thing last night.
That's huge, man. Heck yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah. So what is your schedule looking like as far as getting here and what you got going on?
It's whatever you got.
What?
I could fire this thing up and roll right out of the driveway right now.
Is that your plan?
No, I got to get somebody to drive the pickup for me. Remember?
Oh, yeah. No, we're doing that. Yeah, but I thought we were doing that week after next. But your plans changed a little bit.
Right. No, they don't change. They can stay the same. I'm just telling you. After tomorrow, I can roll out whenever it fits your schedule.
Okay.
Yep.
So fair enough. Absolutely, man. We will work that out. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, we already talked about that.
How close are you to having those cards done?
That's what I got to get. That's what I've been working on. I got to go get some glue, the right glue. The cards, they need to be done by the end of July. So, you know, and the issue with the home, there's an issue right now where we can't be incited, actually. So the camper turned out to be a good thing. And me heading out for a while turns out to be a very good thing. So, yeah. It's ready. I got the beds made. The fridge is full. The freezer's full. Everything's in totes that I need in totes. I I got a TV with Netflix and everything, and a PS4 by my bed on a little stand. I got this set up here. You know, I'll be living the life in Oklahoma. I mean, you want to talk about high class white trash? I'm rolling.
And that's once again, man, I think it's kind of a theme we've come back to, which is happiness is not in things. You know what I mean? And happiness is not in some weird social acceptance by a group of people that don't accept themselves, much less you, and whatever acceptance you hope to get. It won't make you happy. You know what I mean? You'll do all that work and end up going, I still don't even like me. Learn to like yourself. And the right people will appear and come around. You know what I mean? And support you with that. So
that's what happened with us. It was just
man.
It was one night, and it was just
like man. Well, hey man, you're one of those cats that if you've been in this game a little while, you know. You just know a guy like you is like, okay, man, that guy is. And then we start talking, and it feels good to be right. You know what I'm saying, bro? It feels good to be like, I was right. He's a musician and an artist and a podcaster and a comedian. Like, I knew this guy had a ton to. I just figured he was doing it, and he wouldn't have time to mess with me. But thankfully, I caught you at an open schedule time.
It was the universe, because it was just perfect. It was just everything's just been a smooth transition.
I know.
Even though my exits from those transitions have been different, but this one, I mean, they've all been smooth transitions into this,
right?
And I'm happy with this,
for sure. And me too, absolutely, me too. I got a charging issue. It's all right. We're gonna be all right. Let's see here.
You do whatever you got to do.
I'm just working the thing, man. You know how it is. So,
well, and everybody sees back here, everybody that has flies in the world, go get you the fly gun.
The fly gun, okay.
It's actually called the Bug A Salt. Bug-A-Salt. It's the original salt gun, and it shoots, you can put just regular iodized salt right here, and that little thing there, and then you do a little pumpity pump, take off the safety, and shoot the fly. I've spent many hours having a lot of fun doing that.
Heck yeah.
And I think Oklahoma has flies, right?
Oh, a ton. You will not. If you need flies, bro, you will not be without flies here. I promise.
I'm a fly hunter. I'm the greatest fly hunter there was. My buddy Dave would argue.
You're the greatest fly hunter there is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I spoke of myself in a past tense.
Oh my goodness, and that's awesome. Guys, we're gonna go. Are you down to go July 4th? Are you down to go Friday still? I haven't even asked you that.
Yeah.
All right.
This is me. This is what I do. Yeah, you're my guy. So
you're my guy, man. Yeah. So definitely we're gonna be going July 4th. We might do a little early. We'll work it out. Me and you'll work it out. But definitely we're gonna have a July 4th for you guys. And you know what I find is that most podcasters take the holiday off, like we all do. So there's a lot of people wanting a podcast. You know what I mean? Wanting to watch something. We put on a hell of a show. That NoONer show watch party. The Cowboys of Moo Mesa will be on episode 6, y'all. So very excited about that, man. I'm very excited about that. And then I have a little video I pulled up, but real fast, we're about to make 39 cents, bro. We just made 28, but we're about to make 39. Are you ready? Are you ready, dog?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's see if it works. Let's see here. It didn't work before. Let's see if it works now. Oh, no. Cancellation limit hit. Cannot issue deliverables for this campaign and content. Oh, that means that somebody else got. Okay, so we're not going to make 43 cents, but we are going to make
28.
Did you want to make the 21 cents or do you want to make the 7 cents? We'll go 21 cents. We're going to promote Truth Social. How about that? All right. Guys,
number 7.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, guys, if you're looking for a great place online for news, discussion, and entertainment, then check out Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media website. You'll get breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social post first, then get on Truth Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social today.
Love it.
You know what I mean? They were like, we don't want you to join Truth Social. They were all like,
Do not come.
to Truth Social,
Do not come.
to Truth Social. But we said,
I'm going to come.
the Truth Social, ladies and gentlemen. The Truth Social.
Gotta wipe it off. Man.
All right. Let's see here, man. Ooh, we're just balling right now, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're just
You know,
balling.
you're gonna be a busy guy today, though.
We made 53 cents, bro. We made 53
Dude.
cents today.
Hey, you know what? I never plan on making anything.
Hey, man, a cool 25 cents of that is yours, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop us, okay?
Watch out, gumball machine.
You know what I mean? Y'all want none of this heat, man. We're about to be rich. So anyway.
We're dropping dimes, bro. We're dropping dimes for real.
All right, and the good news that's going on, man. I got this video pulled up, and we're gonna check out because everybody's sad and they're saying that it's all, Mr. Mean Trump is the reason we can't be happy on this holiday. Here's some good stuff that you're not gonna hear anywhere else.
But my past 7 days is nothing compared to the week Trump had. I got to take a deep breath just to go through it all. So here goes. First, you had the Iran strike, where Iran just had their nuclear prospects sent back to the Stone Age, or in their case, blasted forward into the Stone Age. And while the mullahs claimed it was no big deal, dry cleaners in Tehran reported receiving truckloads of soiled robes. Then there's a ceasefire where Trump acted as coach, separating two players, still fighting after the whistle blew. Then he got our NATO allies to pony up 5% of their GDP on defense. No one's done that before. Maybe we can get him to bring up Jesse's behavior when the check comes after dinner. Cheap bastard. Of course, there's the vanishing border crossings and gotaways, while Trump's approval among Hispanics explodes. He's now as popular among Latinos as Family, Religion, and the Weather Girl on Telemundo. No cold front there. Calling him Taco Trump kind of backfired. The stock market roared back despite predictions of idiots like Jim Cramer, who claimed tariffs would usher in the apocalypse. Sorry, the only thing headed to the apocalypse is Jim Cramer. Meanwhile, new data suggests Kamala's trouncing in 2024 could have been far worse if more people had voted. So if the Dems had worked harder to get out the vote, they would have gotten fewer votes. Turns out their biggest enemies are their own policies, candidates, and party. They're like a cat who's allergic to cats. On top of that, the Supreme Court got rid of the nationwide injunctions, the legal system's version of cock blocking, used to stymie Trump's agenda, and in the process revealed that the dissenting libs are less qualified than Lionel Hutz. You forget. But with the winning comes the whining. Critics claim the economy would have been fine without this trade war. But that's like saying Dolly Parton would have been just as famous without the huge cans. Because without the new tariffs, we wouldn't have the extra billions coming in, which the critics leave out. It's a half opinion, like celebrating your weight loss, but failing to mention the tapeworm. Now, when you praise Trump for being this good, they'll accuse you of idol worship, as if they didn't act like Barack Obama orange sherbet. To them, it doesn't matter they're losing. It matters that you back the guy who's won over and over. I mean, it's beyond predictable. It's like a birthday party magic show. You see the tricks coming. Seriously, how many magic acts have you seen in your life? Not counting Jesse being handed his own show. But when you see a guy holding a top hat, chances are a rabbit's going to be pulled out of it. And if a woman gets sawed in half, she'll soon be reattached. Well, unless the magician is a Democrat, then she'll reappear with a dick. But a Trump hater is the lunatic who watches the magic show every time, and when a rabbit pops out of a hat, he races home to check his closet for bunnies. And with Trump producing dozens of rabbits out of his MAGA hat, they return to going after his words, not his deeds, which is like criticizing Houdini for saying abracadabra when he should have said nothing up my sleeve. But we get it. With every issue, Trump begins by splitting it apart, only to reunite the pieces stronger and in our favor. He'll saw the woman in half, then be patient. He returns her in one piece, hotter than ever. But it isn't magic at all. It's strength, will, and action. He knows what he's doing. His critics don't. So they resort to fictions.
That's important.
The Maryland Dad, Russian collusion, the 4 years that Joe Biden was supposedly not dead. But thanks to Trump, we can see their tricks coming as their dwindling base vanishes like a coin in the palm of his hand. Let's welcome.
All right, y'all. That's good news. You're not going to hear about this last week from anywhere unless you watch Gutfeld or us. There's some good stuff going on. There are some serious escalations and wars being ended. Gas is cheaper at the pump right now than it's been in 4 years. It's easier to buy a home if you're in the market. It's easier to get a job than it has been in 2 years. So, look, man, no one's talking to you about getting a job. We know better. Okay, calm down. Are you off? Are you? Do you have vocal?
Yeah, I just be quiet. I can be quiet too.
Yeah, no one's worried about you getting a job, dog. Trust. No one's losing any sleep. Worried about making sure you get the want ads. So
they know I'm an unhireable human.
Exactly. If they're hey, me too. We're same boat. You know what I'm saying?
Take a look.
So definitely, might you go live tonight or tomorrow night or anything?
I might. I mean, okay. Here's the deal. I started the other night. Nobody came on, so I didn't break it. But I've got a mega of Topps Chrome that just came out, NBA to break and reveal, and I've got the Series 2 of the Topps that just came out. So either baseball or basketball. But I hung out and I talked for about 20 minutes. But these cards are so expensive that unless somebody hops on to watch, I really don't want to, rip open a $50 box.
Sure, and I've been we got to talk about that because we'll do a little promo. We're gonna start doing some promo. We're gonna put together a couple of little graphics and stuff for you, and then if you're gonna go live that night, we can start. You know what I mean? That day, just throwing some info out. Hey, tonight Vern is going live. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of times, like I'm in the middle of something and I see you're live and I can turn it up, but I can't like interact, because I didn't.
Yeah, I can't.
You know what I mean? Know you were going live and I'm in the middle of other, you know how it is.
Yeah. Working. You're working.
But everybody needs to go to Vern White 4 and check him out. And he does great go lives on YouTube. So we're gonna be checking more of that out for sure. Guys, I want to thank you so much. Very busy here in it's 5 Central Time. It's 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be going live on the Caltrop. That's right. Awesome. The Caltrop, more political-based show out of the East Coast. Going to be with Mike Calderese on the Caltrop. That's Center Cut Media. Make sure you check that out. Very important. And love that show. Love Calderese. Then I'm actually going to be doing a recording, not live, but I'm going to be doing a recording with Beyond the Slap. He's going to have a specific focused podcast he's going to start doing. Terry from Beyond the Slap asked me to be his first guest. That's an honor. So I'll be recording that tonight. Then, guys, tomorrow night, I'm so excited. I have Anthony Babyface Blackburn, the current welterweight champ of Power Slap. Gonna have him in studio for a one-on-one. Gonna be breaking down his life, his inspirations, how he got to where he is, current struggles, all the things that only a champ, can talk about. And we're gonna be able to bend his ear, talk to him, get deep with Babyface Power Slap. I'm so excited about that. Legitimately. Yeah. And then, of course, Friday, July 4th. Happy July 4th. We love you. We love this. Yeah, we like that.
We gotta make real big on Friday.
Yeah. We're gonna pew it up. We're gonna take you to the Moo Mesa. We're gonna watch, we're gonna have some laughs, and we're gonna enjoy that. So that's gonna be on Friday. Make sure you guys tune in for that. So busy week ahead. We got a lot going on. God is good. We are being blessed. People are paying attention and liking what we're doing, and that's all because of you. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, and remember, for you get the pew, because this is your show. It doesn't exist without you. Thank you so much for the card, man. I'm Slapmaster Mike, and we are out.
Oh boy.